As time passed and old age crept into the lives of many, the world around them seemed to grow quieter. Words, once spoken with exuberance and certainty, became fewer and more deliberate. The elderly, having lived through so many seasons of life, found that every word carried weight, every phrase had purpose. Yet, with that growing quietness came the occasional slip, words that unintentionally fractured relationships, hurt feelings, or created a distance between them and those they loved. Back in my day, we did things right. Mr. Davis, a retired engineer, had always been proud of his hard work and hands-on skills. He believed that there was no real work unless it was done with your hands, a philosophy forged in the grit and grime of his early career. But his grandson, Kyle, saw the world through a different lens. He was deeply passionate about digital art and often spoke about the transformative power of technology in his field. Every time Kyle shared his dreams with his grandfather, Davis would smile and say, "Back in my day, we worked with our hands, that was real work." Kyle, at first, tried to explain the nuances of his art form, but over time, those words from his grandfather began to weigh him down. He started to keep his passion to himself, sensing that his grandfather didn't value his chosen path. The gap between the generations widened, and the connection they once shared began to erode. Psychologists call this generational bias, the tendency to judge the present through the lens of the past. But Davis, like many others, couldn't see the value in the new world his grandson was embracing. A wise person, however, would have asked questions, shown curiosity, and listened with an open mind. When we let go of rigid judgments, family relationships become richer and understanding deepens. "I can't learn anything new anymore." Mary, an 80-year-old woman, had always believed that learning new things was a young person's endeavor. For years, she avoided smartphones, convinced that they were far too complicated for her. But one day, as she prepared dinner, the golden afternoon light streamed through the window and reflected off her stove. The moment felt magical, a fleeting slice of beauty in the midst of her routine. She thought to herself, "I wish I could capture this." Despite her trembling hands, she opened her phone's camera app and snapped a picture. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers, and in that simple act, Mary found a new joy. Over the following weeks, she delved into the world of photography, joined a senior photography club, and even created an Instagram account to share her pictures. What she had once thought was too late to learn became her daily passion, and she marveled at how much life still had to offer. This story is a testament to the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to learn and adapt throughout life. Mary's journey showed her that it was never too late to learn, to try something new, and to rediscover joy. She wasn't just learning how to take better pictures, she was reminding herself that she was still alive, still capable, and still full of potential. "I can live however I want." For John, 77, life had lost its spark after the death of his wife. He found himself drifting, disconnected from the world around him. He no longer took care of his health, stopped cooking, and rarely left the house. One morning, struggling with back pain as he dragged himself out of bed, John caught sight of his reflection in the mirror. He hardly recognized the man staring back at him. "Is this the person I want to be?" he asked himself. In that moment, John made a decision. He started with small changes, light exercises in the morning, short walks around the block, and gradually, he began to take better care of himself. His new routine didn't just improve his physical health but also rekindled his mental vitality. John realized that taking care of himself wasn't just a responsibility, it was a form of self-love. The small changes John made are supported by science, which shows that maintaining a healthy lifestyle, even in old age, can dramatically improve the quality of life. It's never too late to prioritize ourselves, to show ourselves the kindness and care we deserve, and to remember that every day is worth living to its fullest. Nobody really cares. In the senior community where Mr. Lee, 74, lived, he was known for his silence. He rarely shared anything during group meetings, always keeping his feelings locked inside. His children only called when they needed help, which made him feel isolated and forgotten. One day, during a conversation with fellow residents, he decided to open up. He spoke about missing his wife and how lonely he felt when his children only reached out when it was convenient for them. For the first time, he shared his emotions, and to his surprise, the group listened, shared their own experiences, and reassured him that he wasn't alone. This simple act of vulnerability created connections and broke through the walls of isolation. Loneliness can be a heavy burden in old age, but it doesn't have to be permanent. When we open up, when we share our feelings, we invite others to understand and care for us. Mr. Lee discovered that by speaking his truth, he could reconnect with the world around him and find comfort in the relationships that surrounded him. I'm old, I'm fine with whatever. Lynn, 78, had lived with her daughter and 2 grandchildren in San Jose for many years. Every time they asked her what she wanted to eat, her answer was always the same: anything, as long as everyone is happy. She didn't want to burden anyone, so she stayed silent about her preferences. One day, after eating a dish she didn't like, Lynn had an allergic reaction. Her doctor gently reminded her that she needed to speak up when something didn't sit well with her, especially when it came to her health. Lynn realized that by staying silent, she wasn't just neglecting her own needs, she was also preventing those around her from understanding her better. From that day forward, she spoke up, sharing her thoughts and desires more freely. This change not only improved her well-being but also strengthened the bond with her family, allowing them to care for her in ways they hadn't before. As we grow older, we don't lose the right to express our opinions, to choose what we want, or to live with dignity. Old age isn't an end but an opportunity to embrace life more fully. Just like Lynn, we can continue to make choices that bring us joy, challenge ourselves to learn new things, and foster deeper connections with the people around us. Old age is a gift, one that allows us to reflect on the journey we've taken and appreciate the moments we still have. It's not about proving ourselves right or trying to please everyone. It's about living true to ourselves, sharing our experiences, and embracing the freedom that comes with age.